Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the beautiful county of Nakuru. And of course, I could not live without talking about the politics of Nakuru. Today, I spent better part of my afternoon with a host of, after meeting Rugen Kigame in an exclusive interview that we're going to show here. We also met some few MCAs that won here. Of course, si lazima tuwataje. Maybe they have not paid. Yes, and Nakuru is cool, but Nakuru is tensed. Before we look at Nakuru, something is also happening in Kericho, and this just by the way. Mutai, who is the Kericho governor, wants the farms that are that took machines to pluck tea in Kericho to be watoe so that they employ the human capital. I tend to support. I will try to look at that at some point. Now, in Nakuru, Susan Kihika appointed her cabinet. And that cabinet was represented by 70% one community, 20% other community, 10% the other communities were divided. Well, let me tell you, kama kuna mahali iko shida ni hapa, this county of Nakuru. And someone has petitioned Kihika, and the vetting of the 10 ministers in Nakuru County government has been suspended by the courts because of that ground. By the way, I'm even wondering, does the County Government Act talk about balancing, especially the community balancing? Because here, it's coming out, and I will try to look at this in a more clear manner, that there are many forces that are actually fighting Susan Kihika. Nakuru County is big, and by virtue of that, there is no way you can have one community having 70% of the slot. I find that not in order, because again, this is a place where you will even see Samuel Arama won. He's from Kisii. He won an MP seat that is Nakuru Town West. David Gikaria, Nakuru Town East. Bahati. There was a lady who won against this vocal MP, Kimani Ngunjiri. So we've really had bit of the town being a cosmopolitan. And I want to reveal in this video that Susan Kihika will find it very difficult, because the truth of the matter here is there are many forces, and one of the forces must come from the highest office in the land. That is the office of the president. I wish she listens to this video, this analysis, so that idea to know how to handle the situation. She prays so that she handles the situation. This is some of the forces that are within here. In the county government, stake, even the UDA party have a stake. And what kind of stake is here? That people who maybe have won positions, maybe did not get anything in government, they will be pushed for them to be accommodated in the county governments. That's one of the problems that governors are going through. I want to give a very wrong example, but it's a good one. In Siaya, the son of Oburu Odinga is a minister there, and Orengo is the governor. And I think there is also one from Odinga family who was appointed by Joho in Mombasa, I think the past regime. So you can see how it plays out. The big boys would always want, and someone should not lie to you that the big boys concentrate on the national stage. That's why Raila had to go to Nyanza to make sure that he or she that he installs the speakers of the choice in charge of ODM counties. So one of the forces are the forces that will want to capture the county, so that the names that is appointed, or the people that are appointed there, are people that solve different political equations. And that's one thing that maybe Susan Kihika might look up for. If you ask me, I think it is one of the counties of UDA that is facing trouble. Why would a UDA county face trouble where governor is UDA and the president is UDA? And after that, I've gone to court and the court has stopped and things seems to have stalled. Something is not really working out well. Now, the other aspect and this other force could be the inside, or rather the hand of Lee Kinyanjui. I've always said that government is continuity. Now, ukiwa kwa government, no one wants to go home, no one wants to retire. From just this take, there are also people whose work are unsafe, even with the current government coming in. So, orphans of Lee Kinyanjui will also regroup and even sponsor such, number one, to cause disruptions. A disruption in that sense would actually derail the development agenda and the scorecard of Susan Kihika. So she needs to be very wary of these forces. That it could be that they are also just regrouping to make sure that they get a stake. And because of the change of the status quo, they are also pushing for something. But this is the truth, guys. Nakuru is a cosmopolitan town. Nakuru, see eti tunadanganyana, Nakuru is a cosmopolitan town. And I also need to remind you guys to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. Currently, we are coming to the end of the 50 shillings challenge towards the purchase of the camera. Apologies, I have a lot of distractions, but I hope I'm going to keep to this. So the camera is supposed to help us in conducting the exclusive interviews, and I'm reaching out to you that you can donate as little as 50 shillings, and that donation will go in a long way supporting our team to produce exclusive interviews. We are going to purchase the camera. Probably by Monday, we shall have a camera, and I believe that God, I will stand, also bless you abundantly. So, this is the truth. Nakuru is third largest town. There are also commercial interests from within this place. There are commercial interests. And these commercial interests can only be vested, and they can be rooted, and they can be served well by people that dance to the tune of masters. Yes, that's the truth. The people that want land here, they want to build, they want to establish companies here, they want to establish farms, So those commercial interests is also another force that you cannot underestimate. And someone will ask, so what do you think the government will do? Number one, I think the government must just align herself and be cognizant of who is sending the dog. Who is the owner of the dog? When you find the owner of the dog, you will serve. You will never know what to do and how to neutralize. But this wild thought, do you think William Ruto is unhappy with Kihika because of the port issue? Do you think the fact that Kihika came out once, and as a matter of national government, even though she is in the county, but they also expect to support William Ruto, expect them to support his agenda. And at one point, she came out and had a regret that she would not want the port to move out of Naivasha. And again, just because of the port issue, the Naivasha voter, she seems to have lost the Naivasha voter and may prefer not to be in good terms with William Ruto, fall out with William Ruto because of that issue of Naivasha, so that she doesn't become a victim. In fact, it's highly possible that the truth here is tying to the commercial interest within the Nakuru. The people that had bought land around Naivasha, by the way. Kuna watu walienda wakanunua shamba around Naivasha with the plan that when they buy that land, of course, they're going to establish some rentals, and it's not in Naivasha, but they Koko side Suswa. It's not very close to Naivasha as we say it. So there are people that had gone there and had bought land to invest, and things are going. So could be even the same people that in their power now are people that invested. So some of that contentious port issue is something that is in the fold. Why is it a coincidence that governors, of course, Kawira in Meru is suffering something, and Kihika is here? Even though you also need to mention that there are quarters that blame the governor to be so much of a bulldozer and is bulldozing her way and doesn't listen. Yes, that seems to be it. And that is the problem with the governors that are with the president. Because governor iko na president wanafeel wewe MC unamwambia nini? Understand? Eh? They feel like the security, they have that security, and there were proceeds of victimization in the previous regime. So they seems to have grown resilience, and whatever is happening back home in the county that would maybe tremble them cannot tremble them because they're bulldozing. These are all issues that are coming up, and of course I don't know whether it's suffix. It would be true to say that William Ruto abandoned Kihika, because what's happening really is something that points out to a fallout, even though hii niseme pole pole, Kenya Kwanza government, to say the truth, have shown less commitment in fighting for devolution. They've seen less. And there's a lot of there is a lot of influence in these counties. That's the challenge. The influence is just a lot. You may, if you start, utafanya investigation pate kumbe watu wanataka hiki kitu ni wengi sana, and that's what's causing the purge. So that's it, the beautiful people of Nakuru, as I step out back to Nairobi. Asanteni sana for the warm welcome. I hope I'll be back and see you until the next.